And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage with you so we can help you win. Now, there's multiple ways to engage with our Consumer Quarterback Show. You can call our hotline, 813-670-7372 is our consumer advocate hotline. Give us a call on the hotline at 813-670-7372. Now, you can also text that line as well. It's a text off-air line as well. ConsumerQB.com is our website. You can see all of our listings, our expert contributors there at ConsumerQB.com. And we want to help you win in any marketplace. That is our standing goal here, is being that consumer advocate to help you understand your buying decisions and making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let's introduce our expert contributor in the house, Kevin Overstreet. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, sir. Nice to be here.
He's an entrepreneur. He owns a title company. He owns other companies as well. Today, you wanted to talk about one of your other companies that you have, the prequal, property prequal.
Yeah, property prequal. It's a fantastic name, and it's been trademarked, so don't mess with it.
Nice.
So I'll give you the 2-minute of it.
Yeah, give us a quick intro.
So property prequal is something that it came to my mind about 4 years ago, and about 3 years ago we started conducting this. And a very simplified way of understanding what it is, think of what Carfax does for used car sales.
Yeah.
This is what, in a much more complex way, we are doing for used home sales. And it is one thing to make really clear is the first around 100 of these that we've done have been, the title company has been one of my title companies, and we're removing that component completely where any title company can be involved. And we made several enhancements. We kind of turned it off as far as for new agents and sellers to use in December of last year, so that we could make a lot of enhancements. And we're actually relaunching it on August 6th at 10 a.m. And that'll be a Zoom meeting. I think we'll have the information here. But it is, we keep hearing in the real estate industry about disruption.
Yes.
And but typically that disruption harms someone.
Right.
And what comes to mind the quickest with real estate agents are the iBuyers.
Yes.
So the iBuyers, and most folks know who those are, or some of them, they're all over the place, and they're preying on the fact, and it is a fact, their primary marketing message is real estate transactions have problems. And put 100 people in a room that have bought a house or sold a house a couple times, and say, raise your hand if there was any problem whatsoever.
Exactly.
And 100 hands are going to go up. So currently the iBuyers have a valid argument. Of course, they're going to give you less money for your home, but some people will pay or lose money in order to avoid hassle. Property prequal, there are a lot of problems in the industry as a whole, and what I know most business owners in pretty much any industry do is they recognize those problems and they figure out how to deal with them. Yeah. And the ones who deal with them better end up being more profitable and all of that, and that's typical. Well, I'm different. What I've seen, I've been doing title for 22 years, so I'm intimately familiar with all things real estate and mortgage, and of course title, and it's fraught with problems. And I said, why try to become better at dealing with problems when we can eliminate them? And so property prequal is that product that's going to make that iBuyer argument go away and truly revolutionize the real estate industry and disrupt the heck out of it while taking money from no one. Yeah. So unlike most services, it's not owned by a real estate company. They're not taking a commission from the realtor. Yep. You go to Zillow or HomeLight or something like that, and you can be an agent, but you're going to share your commission with them.
Exactly.
So in each transaction, the client is the transaction. So we're completely independent from all parties involved. And the idea is you could have a buyer and seller and two realtors and mortgage and, everyone involved in that transaction that's 100% honest.
Right.
But they could also all be crooks. And PPQ is what we call it, actually eliminates the possibility of deceit from any party involved, and without taking money from anyone. So we charge a fee for the product itself, and the fee is currently $750, and it's paid at closing. So I don't know that we have time to get into all the different components of the PPQ, but the biggest thing is that it's independent, like I mentioned. So no seller, realtor, buyer, or anything can influence or manipulate what we report. It's a 10 component report. The hard copy is about 250 pages. Of course, there's digital copies. We have an extremely robust website, which is here, and I'll be getting into that very deeply on the Zoom call on the 6th.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, there's two key phrases that one of them is transactional transparency. And what that means is everyone involved knows everything that's going on. And we have, out of those, we've got the stats here, but the ones that we've closed, the real estate commission collectively was $1.7 million on $28 million worth of properties.
Yep.
And guess how many cancellations? Zero. Because the biggest problem with the life cycle of a real estate transaction is the property gets listed and the seller and the listing agent go to work, but no one else does until there's a contract. And that's the trigger point for all parties, mortgage and title and everyone, to begin doing their work. And you've got a buyer that's put money up on a property, is emotionally invested in that property, and then they begin their due diligence.
Yep.
So we're replacing due diligence with what I call done diligence. And what that means is,
yeah, I like it.
All of the questions that a buyer could possibly ask, or anyone else in the transaction, have already been answered, and some that they don't even know to ask.
Yep.
And it is to the point, and this is 1.0. We've got 3 more versions that are coming out over the next few years. And this is launching only in Tampa Bay first, then Florida, then we'll go to other states. But the point is the transparency, and it's just it for the agent.
But what it seems like to me, just my initial take on it is yeah, exactly that. Because what happens is, when as a listing agent, we go out, we list the property, we put it on the market, we spend all this money on photography. We're at a point where we, now we have an offer, we have the offer coming in, and then the buyer does the inspection. And then what happens? Oh, well, we found all these different problems. There's a checklist. And almost any home, unless it's brand new, you're going to be able to find some problems, right? Oh, that electrical outlet, especially if it's 5 to 10 years old, 15 plus, there's a lot of issues. The breaker box, there's potentially, roof issues. And how old is the AC? So what your product's doing is you're not only handling that portion of it, the inspection, the property, but you're also looking at, okay, what loan qualifications can you have here? What about the previous title policy? Are there any issues? And I can see how that would especially help with vacant land in some cases too.
Yes.
Because you have stuff that comes up with land, the encroachment issues, different things there. And then the question would be, who pays for the $750 then? How's that paid?
That is so. Our launch has 3 phases, and the first is to the Tampa Bay listing agents, and there's the ones who participate in this between now and the end of the year, and do it correctly. And I can't get into that right now, but they will have a distinct advantage over everyone who doesn't. Almost concurrently, so within a couple months, we'll also be marketing to the seller of every single home that's listed so that they can ask their agent about it. And then those actually aren't our primary client or our primary targets for the marketing, because we've had, and I've had multiple agents, listing agents over the years of doing the property prequal say something, well, not something to the effect, exactly this. Well, if we know about everything, we have to disclose it. So I don't want it. And then you mentioned the inspector that the buyer's agent orders or uses. Well, that company, that guy, they're kind of in the toughest spot in the whole transaction, because I've been in dozens of meetings where an inspection company was sponsoring it, and there's always something like, 'cause they're talking to the buyer's agent, and there's always a comment that's something like, look, we're going to inspect the hell out of this house, but we're not going to mess up your deal.
Right.
So
right.
that inspector gets hired by the buyer's agent. If he misses something that causes a problem for the buyer's mad at the agent, and the agent never calls him again. And if he catches something that delays or cancels the deal, buyer's agent never calls him again. So we're doing all of that ahead of time. We're not doing an inspection for the seller. We're doing an inspection for the property, for the transaction.
Right.
And it gives the opportunity to the seller. Let's say you have a 90-day listing period and a 45-day after contract, between contract and closing period. Those 90 days are the time to do everything, to do all of the due diligence to create that. And no one involved in the transaction has to do any more work because we have the network of providers that are doing all of this work. And speaking of the title that you just mentioned, it's remarkable that listing agents don't order title prior to contract. So they have this property listed for maybe a year, and it goes under contract, and then title happens.
Yep.
And it turns out the seller's got a $500,000 federal tax lien, and it's not going to be a deal. We do not have cancellations, and we actually, if the deal cancels, the fee doesn't even get paid. So it's guaranteed to close. It's only $750. The stats show, and I don't know if we have all of the stats, but over the years, comparing them to the stats of the Tri-County area,
yep,
the properties go under contract about 7 days sooner. They sell about 9 days sooner. They often waive the inspection period, and they also sell for a full percentage point higher versus the list price
to sell price ratio.
Yeah. So
we got to get into our break here, but
sure.
When we come back, I want to dive a little deeper on this property prequal solution that Kevin Overstreet has, and we're also going to bring in we got coming up Ray Hall with Ray Hall Appraisals, talking about Tampa Bay values, things happening in the marketplace, specifically here in Tampa Bay, and we're finding that buyers are sometimes overpaying right now, so you got to be careful about that. Also, Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing, in the house, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, talks a lot about how there's some unscrupulous contractors out there, different schemes and scams out there to be aware of. So stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, our feel-good story of the day: Senate passes bill to protect sea turtles, whales, dolphin, and more from drift guidelines. So stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. Recently featured again in Florida Realtor Magazine, the May issue of 2020, creative ways to promote your brand. Talked about our marketing strategies and a lot of our branding that we're utilizing. Florida Realtor Magazine, of course, is the real estate magazine of all Florida realtors right here in Tampa Bay. This segment is brought to you by the Golf Cart Depot, one of our show partners and expert contributors. Golf Cart Depot. Say hello to our friends Marty and his team over at the Golf Cart Depot. They've got a location in Land O'Lakes. They have a location in Clearwater, and they offer the EasyGo Star EV Icon electric vehicles as well, and you can have pre-owned, remanufactured versions of those as well as new as well. Golf Cart Depot, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Test drive one today and let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot properties here in Tampa Bay as well. 6417 Yvette Drive in Hudson. This is a property that is on the waterfront, gorgeous waterfront, bay access. Got a huge dock out there with a lot of wood and just a great views of the Gulf of Mexico. A great fishing opportunity. 2-bedroom property right here in Tampa Bay. Yvette Drive in Hudson as well. Great opportunity in Pasco County. Also, check out 520 George Street South. This is a waterfront beauty as well. Another property, waterfront right here on Lake Tarpon in Tarpon Springs. You've got direct access to Lake Tarpon, 2,500-acre lake. Great opportunity, beautiful views, private boat dock, and a mother-in-law suite listed at $470,000. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. All right, we got Kevin Overstreet in the house, and he has a title company here in Tampa Bay called Insured Title. You've also heard of him talking about Title Update. We talked about some of the fraudulent activities through Title Update and what he's able to catch and help protect homeowners. But you also have this other product, this new product that we're talking more today, Kevin. We're focusing on property prequal, and I got to tell you, it sounds like a great idea to me.
It'd be weird if it didn't, because you're a top listing agent. So, yeah, it's actually not a new idea. Like I said, it started about 4 years ago, and I won't get into too much of the history of it. But basically, we had a transaction at my title company 2 days before closing, and it died. And so I asked my closer what happened, and he said they took an offer from a buyer contingent upon FHA financing, and the property's a condo that's not FHA financeable. Oh. So dead deal. And actually the listing agent's fault. So, yep. But I actually said right then, great, we've got a pre-qualified buyer, but not a pre-qualified property. So that's when the light bulb went off. And then I just poured through the standard sales contract, the as is and the standard in Florida, and figured out how many loopholes we could close. And the contract's pretty detailed, as you know, and there are a number of things that are missed that are just not done. And I actually teach classes to agents on how to keep from getting tricked by the other agent and how to trick the other agent, because people don't, there's just so many details. So we're satisfying a bunch of those. We're closing some of the loopholes for the buyer to get out of the contract. And the biggest thing that it does for the agent is not only help them sell the homes more quickly, but most of the agents who have adopted this, and there are many in the area, but a piece of how many total agents there are, they're using this as the primary portion of their listing presentation. Because if a seller is looking at 3 or 4 different agents, they're going to be the only ones that talk about this. And it's to the seller, the consumer who truly cares about that transaction, it's an absolute no-brainer. These guys and ladies that are using the PPQ correctly at listing appointments, which we train how to do, they're winning every listing, and the other agents are losing those listings to them. But we want as many agents to do this as possible because of the fact that it's a great listing tool, and it truly helps everyone in the transaction while taking no money from anyone. There's a fee that we charge, but you're going to pay $750 at closing, and your house is going to sell on average for about $2,000 more. So I don't think that's a bad investment. And I have a special offer for you. I'm looking at your numbers right here because most smart title guys have those numbers.
Yep.
I'm not going to mention how many listings you have because it's going to make your competitors pretty jealous. But you've got tens of millions of dollars that are properties that are listed, and I want to meet with you offline and go through those, and I'll take $100 off of the cost of the prequal on every one of them. Sometimes the property's not right for a prequal.
Yep.
We're not saying that the property's perfect. We're just saying here's everything, much like Carfax. And
so you're doing an upfront inspection on these as well?
Yeah, that's one of the 9 things.
I mean, that
we
right
do.
there is a great value in itself.
Yes, and that story that I told about how the inspection companies are in a tough spot with the property prequal, it's the only time that we truly want them to find everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing, whether it's 8 things or 80 things, because it's not being disclosed to the buyer yet because there is no buyer. It gives the seller and the listing agent an opportunity to decide, are we going to fix things, or are we going to allow for it in the price, but we're going to disclose it? And then the buyer's agent orders an inspection from the guy who isn't supposed to find everything, and he finds way less. So, and this inspection it's done for property prequal as the client, but it's actually done for the buyer.
Yeah.
But it's a TBD buyer. Yeah. And there are many other components also, but the biggest thing about it, and folks will try to copy this. That's why and we'll outpace them because we have a ton of development happening, and we have 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0 versions of this product that just add more bells and whistles or features, and some of which are a direct savings of thousands of dollars a year to the seller. So how could you not do it? And then the holy grail of our marketing is when we do very much like Carfax did. They started in Missouri, where I'm from, and they had the records to 5,000 vehicles, and they went to the dealers of those, and they said, hey, we've got this great report. Dealers said, sounds great. Then they started getting the reports.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And dealers said, wait a second, you're showing us problems. We don't want to disclose that because they're used car guys. And so Carfax said, okay. And then they raised the money or had the money in order to create the little fox. And they marketed like crazy to everyone, primarily the buyers.
Yeah.
So now you go into a used car shop and they hand you the Carfax report because it's required by the buyer. So that's where this is going. It's something that's coming with or without realtors being involved, still helping realtors and not costing them anything. But when the entire market of Tampa Bay is blanketed by marketing and promotions to the buyers, very much don't buy a house without a property prequal. And if you list a house without a property prequal, what are you hiding? And no one's going to look at your house. So so it's extremely valuable for that. And I've asked this 100 times to people. Name another company that does what Carfax does.
Right.
You can't.
They're the market leader. They're the first one to the market.
But guess how much of the market they have?
A large percentage.
12%.
12%.
Yeah, they're not even. They are the leader, but just by barely. And I don't understand. I don't know what the other companies have done.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're probably doing the same type of product.
We've got about a minute left, Kevin. If you want to summarize or maybe make a call to action and give your number out.
Yes, all local to Tampa Bay listing agents need to get on the call, get on the Zoom meeting.
That's right, Zoom meeting.
We've put the information up a couple times, and that's going to be
August 6th.
Yeah, 1 hour meeting, August 6th, 10 o'clock. And then you'll learn all you need to know in the beginning. You can open your account. There's a free gift at the end of it. Bunch of marketing material customized for you selling the prequal. And that's your free gift. You'll walk away from that knowing enough to truly outperform everyone who misses the call. And then we'll have deep dive meetings after that. And to get in touch with me, you call me at 813-504-9708. And to check out the site, that's propertyprequal.com. And folks, it's coming, and it's going to help. It's going to change the world in a very
product.
good way.
Sounds like a great product. Yeah. Sounds like a revolutionary idea. Good job.
Absolutely.
And expert contributor Kevin Overstreet on the show. Ray Hall coming up next. Ray Hall Appraisals. And later in the show, we got Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing. Stay with us.
Hey,
I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. This segment's brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Local long-distance moves, cross-country moves. Brothers Easy Moving is the trusted choice. They did a great job moving my family to our new lake home. And Brothers Easy Moving, give them a call, let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, and take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. As you know, I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I want to let you know about a couple of hot opportunities here in Tampa Bay. 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa. This is a great development opportunity. Attention builder developers right here. Check out this property in the heart of Tampa Bay. 12208 Four Oaks Road, 5 acres MOL. Great opportunity to develop R9 zoning, $1.8 million price tag. Great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. Also, you want to take a look at, we got 4214 Peaceful Lane, Land O'Lakes, another development opportunity. You got 8 lots, 5 of which are right on the waterfront in Land O'Lakes, 4214 Peaceful Lane. Great opportunity. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we got Ray Hall in the house. Ray Hall Appraisals back in studio. What are you seeing out there, Ray?
It's still a busy time out there.
That's right.
I'm still getting plenty of orders. It's not just the refinances with the low rates. It's people buying.
That's right.
People looking to upgrade. Just had an interesting one the other day where they had to sell their house quickly because they bought the one next door so that they could renovate and move into that one. So, a lot of different kinds of transactions going on out there. And, those of us in the real estate business have been very fortunate so far through everything we've been going through the past few months.
Yeah, exactly. We just got to keep these storms out of the box, keep these storms coming close to us,
True.
That's a challenge.
That's part of living in Florida.
Tampa Bay is really one of the best positions, Tri-City areas, if you think about where the hurricanes come from. Of course, Miami-Dade, up that East Coast is always a scare. We were talking about the inventory shortage as well, and talk about getting in development. I'm looking at that, putting together a team, and looking at getting in development. Hey, if we know inventory's low, why don't we solve the problem?
Create your own inventory.
That's right.
Yeah. This is the time to look for those opportunities too, because they're out there. You can still find good deals out there. I'm sure you see them plenty. So if you've ever been hesitant about getting into the real estate market, I would say now's a good time to get your feet wet and jump on in.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
there's still plenty of opportunities out there. Obviously, like we always say, get with a professional. Get with someone who knows what they're doing, because there's a lot of overpriced real estate out there too, and I see it every day.
Overpriced real estate, most of the time it's for sale by owners. Sometimes there's even a listing agent involved from a real estate company. Because I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I was writing my book. I was talking to my ghostwriter, and we were writing a chapter in my book, and I went through fact, and again, I don't mean to pick on any certain industry, but if you look at real estate licensees, 62-hour course, I believe, to be a cosmetologist, cut hair, I want to say it's 240 hours, 280 hours. I know it's a multiple of 62,
right?
And if you think about the impact that people can have on people's lives. You get a bad haircut, okay, you're screwed for a week or two.
Yeah.
You get a bad realtor, you could have made multiple $1,000 mistake.
Yeah. I myself, I recently took the real estate agents class. I was wondering if I wanted to get my license or not. And what interested me was at the end of the class, I realized it really didn't teach me anything about real estate. It really didn't teach me anything about, coming up with that list price, or what's going to impact that list price. It was basically a long class on, be honest.
The history of
great,
meets and bounds, how they survey properties. Oh, meets and bounds, or you can do, but it's nothing really that's going to say, here's how you make money, here's how you do things ethically,
right?
Or go out and do the deal, get the business,
right? And too many people are kind of, they know that person who just got their real estate license and they want to help them out, so they're gonna sign on with them.
Yeah.
Well, that's not always a good idea. I've seen many transactions where it's a newer agent and they thought they listed this at a great price, and I'm coming in saying, but you didn't consider this, and this.
Yeah.
Did you look at these houses over there that are model matches? And well, no. I mean, I literally had someone say, well, that's what the seller thinks it's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, great. Good for them. I think my house is $1 million home then.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't make it so.
Yeah. Ray Hall here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Ray Hall Appraisals, rayhallappraisals.com as well. And, talking about residential, commercial investment opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of buying triplex, duplexes, quads, for people, because you can qualify under that single family home, that primary residence qualification, and have a triplex or duplex to rent out the other side.
Oh yeah, people don't realize the investment opportunity in real estate.
Yeah,
and everybody complain about all these wealthy people who don't pay income tax.
Yep. Well,
they don't pay income tax because a lot of their investment is in real estate. You legally get to write off that depreciation. They're not doing anything wrong. It's just smart investing. So if you're looking for a good investment opportunity, you always want to go towards real estate. I've done a lot. I used to work as a financial advisor. I was a Series 7 financial advisor for a very large investment company, and I would go to real estate every time before I would ever, go to a traditional financial advisor looking for advice and buying mutual funds.
Yeah, especially now when you look at all the different, we saw the Enron, we saw the corruption, the Martha Stewart, all that kind of stuff going on. And then you look at, a lot of these stock buybacks, the overvaluation of stocks, the devaluing of currency in the dollar.
Yeah.
So if you put that money into real estate, that's going to definitely appreciate. It's an insurable asset. You got tax benefits. Somebody else can pay your mortgage. Worst case scenario, you can't. Okay, let's move out, live with a family member, friend. Let's let somebody else live there. There's so many options.
Oh yeah. Plus, I've seen investors where they go into a real estate transaction knowing they're overpaying a little bit, but they know they've got so much cash flow potential that it kind of overshadows that. So there's just, there's so many different exit strategies from the investment and so many ways to benefit from it. And like I said, now you've got an interesting time right now because you have these investment opportunities where people have lost their job and they need to dump their real estate quick.
Yes.
So you've got it on that side where maybe you can get that good deal on the house.
Yeah.
But we still have a good real estate market.
Yeah.
So you're not kind of, racing the downtrend.
Yep.
You're still at a fairly level market, level values. So, if you can get that good deal on that house, you're coming out with money right off the bat. So that's why, it's just such a great time in the real estate market.
Yeah, it really is. We're talking with Ray Hall here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals. So what else are you seeing? What do you see in the future? I mean, it just feels like so many people are still moving from out of state, coming down to this awesome market that we have here in Tampa Bay. What do you see happening? Will it ever slow down?
Who knows?
Right.
I believe we had the same conversation in, I think, December.
Yeah.
And we said, who knows what could happen? The next thing is an unknown. And I think I remember you saying, maybe this virus thing in China might impact us.
Right. Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's going to happen? Who knows? They may have a vaccine in a couple months. Not likely, but, possibly.
Yeah.
And then that could lead to an upswing in the market. We could have a strong economy in Florida because, even though we do have the increasing number of COVID cases, we still have a low number of mortality with it. I think we almost reached New York's numbers with numbers of cases, but we're at like a fifth of what they had in deaths. So, that could lead to, more of an influx in population in the area.
Yep.
And again, people are now going to have that ability to work from home.
Yes, that's a big part of it.
Yes. So where do you want to work from home? In the cold Northeast, or do you want to be where you can take a break and go to the beach for a little bit every day?
Yeah.
So, we do live in a great area, great climate. Me and you both love boating and getting out to the beach, things like that. And what people spend tens of thousands of dollars to do on a vacation, me and you do on a weekend.
Absolutely.
And then head home at the rest at the end of the day.
And what about on a local level here too, Ray? You look at people leaving the higher density areas, those, where you got rioting. Even downtown Tampa, we had rioting. They ambushed a police officers, just ridiculous stuff like that happening. More and more people moving to the suburbs, moving out to rural areas.
Yeah, exactly. And, we are seeing, a lot more. I've had very few new purchase appraisals here in the South Tampa area. Maybe one or two over the past couple months, but mostly I'm out in the suburban areas. I'm out in the more semi-rural areas like Dade City, Zephyr Hills, Plant City, Polk County, those areas. And I think people are realizing they're going to get more for their money.
Yep.
They're going to be maybe in a little bit of a safer, less densely populated area.
Yep.
And I think they're going to make that push out there. But the real thing is they're going to look at how can I lower my living expenses? And the way they can do that is going out to the suburban areas as opposed to the more urban areas that you're paying $500,000 for what you would get for $200,000 in the suburbs.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, let's make our offer. Then you got your owner's use appraisal.
Yep.
Most people think of an appraisal as like a $500, $4,000 expenditure, but you offer for our radio and TV show listeners. You have a special offer for them.
Yeah, we do. It's called a restricted use appraisal. It's for you only. It's for those homeowners who aren't sure where they want to go and they just want to have an idea what their house is worth. It's about a few pages long. You can send me all of the pictures of the interior of your house, the exterior of your house. You can send me all the notes with what's going on these days. I never even have to set foot inside, and you get a legitimate appraisal with my signature on it. It's certified, and we'll give you that same value you would get on that $500 appraisal. And those appraisals start at $150.
All right, so text in if you'd like that. Call or text our hotline, 813-670-7372. Call or text our hotline, 813-670-7372. And we'll put you right in touch with Ray Hall Appraisals. Take them up on that offer. And yeah, it's a great opportunity to find out, hey, here's our price range. And I work with Ray on some of our properties as well. We've sent, some of our different sellers. And, sometimes if for sale by owners, they don't like the words they get back. They don't. Had one recently in a nice property in St. Pete, but he wanted close to $1 million. And it's not worth it. It was worth about $820 or $840, wasn't it?
No, actually, I believe that one came in at about $840 to $850.
Yeah, $840, $850. Yeah.
But the problem was it wasn't comparable to those $1 million properties.
That's right.
And that's where we come in.
That's right.
And that's another thing. If you're looking to buy a house and you're unsure, I can actually do an appraisal on that house.
Yes.
Because if it's on the MLS, I have all the interior photos.
Perfect.
I have all the information I need. I can go ahead and do an appraisal that if you don't want to tell me what the contract price is, then that's your prerogative to not tell me.
Yeah.
And we can go ahead and do that appraisal and see where it comes in. And now that restricted use can't be used for a negotiation tool, but I can certainly do one that can.
Yep. Perfect. All right, Ray Hall Appraisals, thanks so much. And when we come back, we're going to have Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing, going to talk about roofing, contractors, what's happening, what to be prepared for. Also, Senate passes bill to protect sea turtles, whales, dolphins, and more from DriftNet. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. A couple of hot properties here in Tampa Bay. We've got 1410 North Betty Lane. This is a property commercial opportunity over in Clearwater. 3-bay car wash for sale. You got own the land, own the cash flow as well. Owner says he's putting out a lot of cash flow. He only works 2 hours a week working that deal. We got vacant land at 0 Alt 19. It's AKA 516 Alt 19 in Palm Harbor. Great buying opportunity. Build your professional office business right here in Tampa Bay. Owner has architectural plans in place, $40,000 value already approved. Water and sewer are connected, and the impact fees have been paid. 0 Alt 19 in Palm Harbor. Great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And every day we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day. All right, so guys, the Senate passes bill to protect sea turtles, whales, dolphins, and more from drift gill nets. So the U.S. Senate has passed drift net modernization by catching reduction act, a bill produced in March of 2019 to phase out giant nets used for sword fishing that trap marine animals, seabirds, turtles in the federal waters off the coast of California, the only places the nets are still used in the United States. And basically, the article goes on to say how they're responsible for trapping and killing 60 different types of marine species, and the legislation will ensure that no more whales or dolphins fall victim to the unsustainable fishery, said Anna. And it also goes on to talk about between 2001 and 2015, the gillnet industry has inadvertently caught 753 dolphin, 507 seals, sea lions, and 112 seabirds, 53 whales, 35 sea turtles. And we finally found a way to phase out their use and the transition to a more humane alternative without harming the commercial fishing industry in the process, Senator Bill Allen said in a statement. This is a significant win for our ocean and the California economy. So there's our feel-good story. Chuck Peterson in the house, Chuck, Suncoast Roofing, welcome back.
I'm glad to be here. I'm a big turtle fan, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's good. What comes to mind, though, is what's happening in all the other waters in the world, right?
I know.
Can't control China and some of these other countries, right?
No, and there's some countries out there that don't take to the environment as good as we do. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least that's a step in the right direction.
That's right. Yeah, maybe it'll be some leadership other world leaders see, and
it'd be nice if we had some leadership out there every now and then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Absolutely. So we got Chuck Peterson on the show, Suncoast Roofing, suncoastroofing.com. And, here we are right in the middle of hurricane season. It's that time to be diligent.
Yeah, it is. Got a little storm on the East Coast. Not going to be much, but as we know, September, October are coming for us, right? Especially October for Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And if you have an older roof, you probably need to have somebody come look at it, whether it's us or another, top tier roofing company. You need to have somebody come look, make sure your roof is ready for the weather.
Yeah, absolutely. Making sure that you have the right components in place. You got the opportunity to get a 4-point inspection or wind mitigation.
Yeah, just we do just a regular roof inspection.
Yep.
We don't do the wind mitigation. That goes to our buddy Snoop.
Yeah, Jay Smith, Snoop Inspection can do that, help you save money on insurance. Reach out to Doug Levi for your insurance policy as well.
Yeah, I mean, we had the whole group right here, but we'll make sure that you don't have any leaks that are going to turn into running water in the middle of the night when that rain hits.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when a roof is put on a brand new home, because recently we had a minor wind event. I was mentioning to you about our home, and we had some shingles blow off. But the roofing company said, well, we have these wind events happen all the time. A no-name storm. What kind of scenario? Little twister, he said, that could potentially come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and that's why, that's one reason that we use the GAF products that we always talk about. Mm-hmm. Their new product is called a HDZ shingle. It literally has a no-wind warranty. So it's 150 to 155 plus warranty.
Right.
So if an event like that does come up and those shingles come off, this covered under warranty. If it becomes a named storm, all warranties are off and the insurance takes over. But in events like we have in the summertime, as we all know, I mean, you get some monsoon weather in an hour's time and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Those are not covered per se under your insurance unless it really tears your house up. Mm-hmm. But if you lose some shingles up the hip of the ridge like you did at your house, Brandon, those would clearly be covered.
Right. Yeah. So that's a challenge that you have. And then you get into different levels of quality when it comes to contractors. So, talk about that too. And then some of the things to look out for. I love, kind of warning our consumers out there.
Yeah. I mean, and this is no news to the consumers that are listening because I know they know, but you have the guys who are, working out of their garage or working, with 2 or 3 of their buddies, and they do, 1 or 2 roofs a week, and that's what they do for their living. We do 100 a week, and if you call them 2 years from now because your shingles came off in that storm,
right?
Is there going to be anybody to even answer the telephone?
Right.
Versus a company like us who's been around for years, and we're going to stand behind anything we do. There's just a different level of companies, as all consumers know, and when you're putting the money into your roof, which is the biggest single expense on your house, you should clearly be doing your homework and making sure you're dealing with a company that's going to be around. Getting that 50-year warranty we always talk about does you no good if it's not put on right, if it's not, the paperwork's not done. 2 years from now you call and is the guy going to come out? Is he even in business? It doesn't do you any good unless you're dealing with somebody who is capable of being around.
So Chuck, tell me also, Chuck Peterson on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Suncoast Roofing here. Chuck, when you look at where we're going and the efficiencies and the technologies, and now you have the ability to put solar into the roof as well. You have these different panels that you offer.
Yeah, I mean, we don't put it into the roof like Tesla's panel is made into their actual shingle.
Okay.
But our panel is made to go straight onto the deck. So you don't have shingles underneath it like everybody else does. So when we're putting the solar on your house, it goes straight onto your deck, and then we shingle around it, seal around it, so it looks basically like a big skylight, right? Teslas are made into the panel. Ours are probably a tenth the cost of a Tesla house. Our house would be with the solar on it. And as long as you do it when we put the roof on, you get their GAF panels, their GAF roofing shingles, GAF warranties, all up the whole product line. So you have a company that's standing behind it that's 100 years old. And it just saves the headache and the heartache of, oh, hey, if something goes wrong, what happens? And, if we put that brand new roof on and then you have somebody else come out and put solar on, they're screwing right through your brand new shingles, which voids your warranty immediately. So it's a lot of pluses, for the panels that we have.
Absolutely. All right, Chuck, we got about a minute left here. Give us any, contact information if you'd like people to contact you directly or...
That website, suncoastroofing.com.
Yep.
We have a commercial page too, so we do residential and commercial. So you go on the commercial page if you have, little strip malls or buildings or restaurants or any of that kind of stuff, apartment complexes. We do everything, as you well know. But yeah, just the website and contact us, and we'll have somebody call immediately.
Yeah, that's awesome. Suncoastroofing.com, especially to kind of a final word. You work very especially well with the real estate industry and real estate agents.
Yeah, we understand, because, working with you and all your group as well, but we understand that inspections and closing dates have time limits.
That's right.
So when the realtors call and they identify themselves as the realtor, and here we have an issue because of an inspection, but we have a closing in less than a week.
Yeah.
We will move things around as all we can to make sure we can get those issues handled for your client so that it gets closed.
Perfect. Awesome. Hey, another great show. Thanks a lot, Chuck. We appreciate you coming in. We had Kevin Overstreet on the show, Ray Hall, Chuck Peterson in the house here. Great show today. And we want to thank you for tuning in, and always, as we close our show, remind you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another and be a force for good in the community. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time